As I look at this article, the first thing I notice is the title, A Focus on Girls' Education. In the first subhead, over 121 million children don't go to school. Almost 65 million of them are girls. I'm already having an inner conversation and I've only read 2 sentences. First of all, I can't believe 121 million children don't go to school. I never knew that. That's way too many kids out of school. And when I infer that fewer girls go than boys, I can't help but think how unfair that is. It makes me mad. When readers stop and think as they read, they often have a reaction of some sort. They might have a connection, a question, or notice some surprising new information. I'm going to stop right here and write down what I learned and any reactions I might have. So I highlighted over 121 million children. And my thinking is that is too many. I also highlighted almost 65 million of them are girls, and I feel like that is unfair. And immediately a question comes to mind. I wonder, why do more boys attend school than girls? Maybe I'll find out as I read on. I'm going to continue to read. All children should have equal rights, but in many parts of the world, girls do not have the same rights as boys. In Bangladesh, one of the poorest countries in the world, many girls receive smaller portions at mealtimes than their brothers. In some nations, such as Bolivia, girls often stay at home to care for their younger brothers and sisters, do household chores, or work in the fields. In India, some families send only their sons to school, and schools in many African countries charge high prices, forcing poor families to choose which of their children will be protected. This is so shocking and sad, too. They should have equal rights. But I never knew how much worse life is for girls than it is for boys in some other countries. This is so unfair. I can't believe girls get smaller portions to eat in Bangladesh than boys. How horrible. It also said that Bangladesh is one of the poorest countries. When readers read, they use what they know to better understand new information. I picked up on a few clues as I read and then added what I already knew to draw a conclusion. I knew that poverty was a huge problem in Bolivia, India, and Africa, as well as Bangladesh. So I'm thinking that perhaps poverty is partly responsible for the inequality between boys and girls. I'm connecting what I already know to new information to better understand it. I'm going to jot down some of my thinking. I can underline, highlight information, and I want to remember. And I also want to make sure I write down my reaction in the margins. It doesn't help to underline or highlight information without jotting your thinking close by, because then we're apt to forget why we underlined the information in the first place. So again, I reacted when I read that many parts of the world, girls do not have the same rights, and sometimes in the poorest countries, they receive smaller portions at mealtime. And I find this horrible. No equal rights. And I also can't believe boys eat more than girls. I also reacted when I read that in Bangladesh, it's one of the poorest countries where this happens. And I'm wondering, maybe this has to do with poverty. What are you thinking so far? What's going on in your inner conversation? Soon it will be your turn to read, write, and talk. We've practiced reading a paragraph and stopping, reacting, and writing down our thoughts in the margins. I want you to listen carefully to your inner conversation and notice your questions, connections, new learning, and reactions. Keep the words stop, think, and react in mind. When readers remember to do that, they get more from their reading than when they just keep reading on. I hope you use these tools while you practice reading this article on your own.